Xbox on. Never did I think that starting my console with a voice command would be so cool. It's with this that embodies what Microsoft is trying to do with the Xbox One. They're not just trying to make a next generation console, they're trying to change things a little bit. We saw glimpses with it with the Xbox 360 and the Kinect, but Microsoft has fully embraced Kinect 2.0 with the Xbox One. Voice commands, a little bit of motion control, and all of this embodies what they're trying to do, bringing everything together into your console. It was a rough start for the Xbox One with a focus on television, and that focus is still there. You'll see the HDMI input slot you can hook up your cable or satellite box to, but really the Xbox One is still all about the games. The design's not going to win any awards for beauty. It's simple, it's got the dual contrast of the shiny black versus the matte black. The Blu-ray drive kind of blends in seamlessly, and the only light you have on it is a glowing white X. Much has been made about the Xbox One's size, and yes, it is big, but it's not that big. You'll have no problem fitting it in your entertainment center next to your receiver and other consoles. The Kinect, the Xbox One, and even the controller, they all really have the same look and feel to them. They're designed to blend together, and you gotta say, it's simple, but it's attractive, and it works. Much has been made about the Xbox One's power and that compared to the PlayStation 4, and yes, the Xbox One isn't as powerful as Sony's console. Certain launch titles like NBA 2K14 and Call of Duty Ghosts, it's pretty evident that the Xbox One's lacking behind just a little bit. Whether that's because of third-party development or the console's hardware itself, that remains to be seen, but things are very close. It's just as close as it was with the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. Console itself has an HDMI in port, HDMI out to your television, as well as optical out, 3 USB 3.0 ports, 2 on the back, 1 on the side, a port for your Kinect, and actually an IR extension port, which you can hook up to your cable or satellite box, or even a receiver if the Kinect has problems controlling that remotely. Inside the box, you've got your Blu-ray drive, 802.11 AG&N wireless with full 5 GHz support, a 500 gig hard drive. Once again, we feel that 500 gigabytes just isn't enough for this generation of digital heavy downloads and mandatory installs, and unfortunately, unlike the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One's hard drive isn't user upgradable. The user interface on the Xbox One is definitely a step in the right direction over the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360, at the end of its life, we saw a ton of ads and other junk that littered our dashboards, and really we just wanted to play the games. Luckily, things have been slimmed down here on the Xbox One. We're still using a tile-like interface, something that's familiar for users of Windows 8 and Windows 8 devices. It's okay. I mean, it works. It's definitely voice-driven. You can use voice commands to kind of go to anything, but that leads to things being pretty buried within a lot of clicks. You're going to have to go 2, 3, or 4 clicks deep, which was a problem on the Xbox 360 to find certain content. Luckily, Microsoft tries to alleviate some of these issues by allowing you to pin common applications and games to the left tab. At any time, you can go to the right and get into the store of content broken up between games, movies, music, and applications. The main screen does a pretty good job of getting you what you want. You have a friends list that's a click away, you have a quick button to get to all your other applications, you have a window that shows the currently running application or the disk that's in the drive. And one thing that's going to take a bit to get used to and really to get understood is just how you can switch between currently running applications. The Xbox One's all about multitasking, and anytime you can tell the Xbox to snap an application to the right side, kind of taking up about a quarter of the screen. You can snap your internet browser there and browse the internet while you're playing a game, or snap a party there so you can chat while you're in a party. You can see who's talking while you're playing a game. You can also, have your friends list up full screen, browse through that, and have the television launched on the side. It's really pretty slick. In terms of online features, a lot of the features you've known from the Xbox 360 return here, but there are some surprisingly missing. For instance, you can't send voice messages on the Xbox One, which was something I utilized quite a bit, so hopefully we'll see that return. You also can't set those flags where you're telling your friends that you're looking to play certain games with them in co-op or online multiplayer. It's not too big of a deal right now because there's really not that many titles to choose from, but hopefully that's something that gets added back. Overall, though, online is definitely an improvement. The speed of matchmaking and the quality of it's supposed to be a lot better. The voice chat, it's a huge improvement in the quality as before, and I really like the new party system and being able to snap that and see exactly who's chatting. While Sony's DualShock 4 was more of an evolution, Microsoft's Xbox One controller is more of just a small refinement. The thumbsticks are solid, they're less slippery, the triggers feel really good, the bumpers are a little more clicky. The rumble, though, I mean, it's amazing how much deeper the rumble is on this new controller. When you're playing a game like Forza 5, you can feel the tires like slip and grip the road. In Rise, you can feel the release of an arrow like off of a bow. It's almost like force feedback of old, but it's subtle, but it adds so much to the game. I'm really impressed with what the controller can do. When you combine the controller with Kinect 2.0, you get some pretty interesting features. For instance, the Kinect can automatically detect who's holding the controller. It'll automatically log you in, so you can pass the controller to your friend while playing couch co-op, and as long as their profile is on the box, it'll log them in automatically, and they'll get credit for whatever they're doing while they're holding it. The Kinect, it really does work quite well. As easy as it is to get down on the Kinect, I definitely saw its benefit. I wanted to play Xbox Fitness, and everything was off on my television, so I walked into my living room carrying my exercise shoes and my water and everything, and just simply said Xbox on. The Xbox came on. I said Xbox, go to Xbox Fitness. I launched Xbox Fitness. I said Xbox, start my workout. And all the while I was getting ready to work out, I was stretching, tying my shoes, putting water on the table and stuff. I was in and ready to play, and I never even had to pick up a controller. That was pretty impressive. Touching on the games briefly, Rise is the best looking launch title on either console. The combat's fun and satisfying, the story's pretty decent, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. There's some really, really pretty set pieces. The co-op in it, it's fun, but a bit repetitive. Forza 5 is smooth, gorgeous, and has more lens flares than a J.J. Abrams movie. Dead Rising 3 is also really impressive. When you're standing on a car and just surrounded by thousands of zombies and they're rocking the car and stuff, it's pretty frightening. Killer Instinct, Crimson Dragon, Power Stall Golf, all really solid first-party launch titles. And that's what the Xbox One has going for it. It has a really solid lineup of launch titles to play. A lot more, it feels like, to do than on the PlayStation 4. Unfortunately, all these titles are littered with microtransactions, basically cheats. Forza 5 that you can pay to gain experience faster. Obviously, Killer Instinct's a free-to-play title, so paying to unlock characters and stuff like that isn't too out of the ordinary, but something like Power Star Golf, which is a golf game, progression in there and stuff in that, even though you pay $20 for the title, to unlock outfits and things like that, you'll have to buy that. Crimson Dragon, you can play through the game okay, but you can also purchase continues with real money. It's just a really odd addition, and hopefully something that's not going to be a trend. Alright, so let's wrap this up. Overall, the Xbox One has a lot of features going for it and has a lot of potential, but it's not quite there yet. Microsoft has laid the groundwork for the more progressive of the two consoles, but I just feel that some of the interface inconsistencies, both in usability and voice commands, hold it back. Multitasking capabilities, though, of the Xbox One can't be downplayed. This is a true multitasking system that behaves at times more like a PC than a console. The strength of the Xbox One, though, is in the games. There are simply more games and better games available on the console right now. There's at least one title available for everyone, from kids to adults, from core gamers and to casual gamers. Microsoft is strengthening the value of Xbox Live Gold as well, with the inclusion of services like Xbox Fitness, though sadly apps like Netflix are still stuck behind the paywall. The next generation of consoles have provided us with an interesting dilemma as a reviewer. We can fault the device for its issues and shortcomings, but the reality is, 6 months, these will most likely be fixed. Even despite these shortcomings, the Xbox One is a solid platform right now and feels loaded with potential to do something different. Until that different gets here, until the potential is realized, you can keep yourself busy playing the games. Xbox, turn off.